Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Ray Kouguell reporting. Search underway for 700 migrants feared lost at sea. Italy launched a massive search and rescue operation in the Mediterranean Sunday after an overcrowded boat carrying hundreds of migrants capsized overnight off the coast of Libya. As many as 700 people are feared dead. By nightfall Sunday, authorities said 28 people had been rescued about 200 kilometers south of the Italian island of Lampedusa, and another 24 bodies were recovered. Rescue workers said the majority of the missing appeared trapped in the 20-meter vessel at the bottom of the sea. If confirmed, the latest drownings will push the 2015 Mediterranean death toll past 1,500. Government leaders across Western Europe are calling for emergency talks to address the migrant crisis. Islamic State claims to have massacred 30 Ethiopian Christians in Libya in a video similar to previous publicized killings by the extremist militants. The graphic footage posted online Sunday and viewed by VOA shows one group of men beheaded on a beach as they knelt in front of their executioners, and another at a different location shot in the back of the head. The grisly deaths are documented at the end of an almost 30-minute video describing the Islamic State view on Christianity and its efforts to convert non-Muslims. Iran's supreme leader lashed out at the United States Sunday, accusing Washington of inventing the myth of Tehran's nuclear weapons threat. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei also urged defensive preparedness for Iranian armed forces after a top U.S. general warned last week about military action against Tehran's nuclear sites. Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif over the weekend also dismissed the remarks made by U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Martin Dempsey. This is VOA News. 6 African Union soldiers have been killed in 2 separate ambushes by al-Shabaab militants in southern Somalia over the weekend. 3 Burundian soldiers were killed Sunday when their convoy was attacked in the town of Ligo in Lower Shabelle region. On Saturday, al-Shabaab militants ambushed a Kenyan convoy, killing 3 Kenyan soldiers and wounding 8 others, also in southern Somalia. Islamic State militants may be making a move in Afghanistan. The group claims it was behind a suicide bombing in eastern Afghanistan. They killed 35 people Saturday and wounded more than 100. Ayaz Gul reports.
Even though the terrorist group has not formally acknowledged its presence in Afghanistan, local authorities and media have in recent weeks reported the emergence of pro-Islamic fighters waving its black flag. The insurgents have claimed the kidnapping of Afghans, including security personnel, and released video images showing the killing of some hostages. But Saturday's suicide bombing in Jalalabad was the most lethal act of violence the group's Afghan allies have claimed. President Ashraf Ghani, in a nationally televised speech hours later, repeated the claims by the attackers, fueling fears the group is making inroads into Afghanistan. He has on previous occasions warned that IS could attempt to establish bases in his country. Ayaz Gul for VOA News, Islamabad.
A new UN report says Afghanistan's judicial system is still failing women, even with the Islamic fundamentalist Taliban out of power. The report says only 5% of cases of violence against women result in punishment for the criminals. The report also says many Afghan women are financially dependent on the men who are attacking them. About 1,000 people gathered at the former site of the Oklahoma City Federal Building in the United States to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the terrorist bombing there that killed 168 people and wounded scores of others. Former President Bill Clinton was among those who spoke at Sunday's service at the Oklahoma City National Memorial, where the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building once stood.
I prepared for this day yesterday in New York by taking Hillary to see our daughter and son-in-law and my about-to-be 7-month-old grandchild. And Hillary and I bathed her and fed her and put her to bed. And I looked at her in that crib so I could remember how you felt, those of you who lost your loved ones.
President Bill Clinton. The April 19, 1995 attack remains the worst U.S. act of domestic terrorism. Anti-government militant Timothy McVeigh, who conceived and carried out the bombing, was executed in 2001. His accomplice, Terry Lynn Nichols, remains in prison for life. I'm Ray Kouguell in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.